Hello, good morning, guys. Good morning, fellow traders. We are back again with another video. It is Hassan, your boy, and this is a review for for US oil. US oil has done exactly what we predicted. So I'm just going to be taking you through our strategy, step by step, simple, precise, and secure, and then I tell you what happened. Our prediction was that US oil will reach here around, I think it was around 500 pips. It was around 1,300 pips, but so far we reached up to 1,000 pips. US oil reached 1,000 pips. So I'm just going to take you through the video and what was about the prediction and how the analysis played out. Well, I told you we prepare at the end of the week, prepare and then wait to execute within the week. So this was a trade I called out even yesterday. By the way, guys, I did a video yesterday about this same US oil, telling you that it might reach down there thanks to the fundamentals. They just fueled our drop. So now what do you see? We said on US oil, we on the weekly time frame, and guys, first subscribe to the channel. We are growing to 300 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel, be part of the community. We welcome you, be part of this amazing trading community. So subscribe 5 seconds and then we'll proceed with the video, guys. Okay, I hope you've subscribed, guys. So let's proceed with the video. So we said we were in the weekly time frame and we had a weekly trend line that was holding this price action here. Price was dropping down. We were in the medium uptrend, but the overall trend was downtrend. So price was heading down and we had 2 touches on the trend line, and then price was here at that point. And at point of marking this candle, we said if price comes and touches this trend line, we are likely to drop down, because that will be the third touch of the trend line, and we always know that the third touch on the trend line always does absolute magic. That was not the only reason. And then we also had a supply zone, a clean supply zone. This was the rally base drop, breaking this structure here, leaving us with a lot of liquidity. So this was a clean supply zone. And remember, we had a trend line passing there, meeting at the area of supply zone. So that was the second reason as to why we thought of selling on the weekly. And also the trend was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. The trend was making lower lows, lower highs, so chances of selling were high. Good. Now, knowing that we had 3 options of selling, confluences of selling, we marked our candle, the opening price and the closing price of the previous week's candle. Then we go to the daily. This is the analysis, guys, I put out in the previous 2 videos. One of the weekly analysis on Sunday, and then another one I put it yesterday. It was just a review. By then price was around here, and I was telling you price is going to drop up to here. So far we've dropped up to here. So you check those videos, guys. And then we come to the daily. When we come to the daily, there was nothing much on the daily. All we could see is the supply zone was still there and the trend line was still passing in that area. Good. So now after seeing that, we came to the 4 hour to refine our entries and look for clear demand supply zones. So when we came to the 4 hour, there was a supply zone here. However, it was not that clear, and also a trend line that was holding price up the 4 hour. So we came to the 3 hour. No, it was 1 hour. 3 hour, the supply zone is still there, but 1 hour it was more clear. So when we came to the 1 hour, we saw that there was a clear supply zone. This one here, you see, this is Marabuzu candle, supply zone with a Marabuzu candle. It is always a supply zone. So we drew that supply zone like that. The Marabuzuka, remember this is the 1 hour. Our trend line is still holding, and I told you as long as this trend line is still holding, we shall wait for this trend line to break. When it breaks, it is going to remove some demand zones. That means we confirm our buy entries. However, we did not enter on this trend line break. After price tested this weekly trend line and also the supply zone, we looked for supply zones within 1 hour supply zones within this weekly supply zone to sell down, but with caution because this trend line was not yet broken. That means we had to sell, but sell with caution. Otherwise, price can just come, sell up to the trend line, and then decide to go up, test this supply zone one more time before it can come down, or it can decide to break the trend line and head to the moon. So we said we are now going to be looking for the supply zones to sell, because most of the conferences were telling us sell, 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 sell. Okay, so now when the supply zone was here, market opened, and what happened? Market opened from here. So after opening from here, it jumped up, crossed above the supply zone, creating what we call manipulation. So if you had your orders stacked here, the buy limit orders stacked here, probably you're going to be stopped out. Why were you going to be stopped out? Because your buy orders were stacked here, you will be stopped out simply because price jumped and made that manipulation. After manipulation, it came down to the zone to normalize price action. You see, price does not move like this. Price action moves slow and steady. So after manipulation, it came down to normalize the price action. Then after, it went up, then started dropping. So after it started dropping with this bearish engulfing candle, that is now when we drop to the 15 minutes to look for supply zones within that area. So we drop the 15 minute. You can drop the 15 minute before it even makes the engulfing candle, but me, I would like to go step by step. So after we reach the 15 minutes, we had a 1 hour supply zone, which is here. You still see even the supply zone is still here, and then we had 15 minutes now supply zone. Now in this supply zone is where we pick our sales. So there's a supply zone here, drop, base, drop, very clean supply zone, breaking structure, and we expected price to come and tap us in before it drops down. However, price did not reach there. What did it do? It created a base drop base here and used this small supply zone here. It is a hidden one. Me, I could not see it real time. I just saw it after price had used it. So price dropped here. After dropping, it created another supply zone here. Another supply zone there, rally, base, drop. So after dropping, the supply zone was there. However, price did not reach there. So all this time, guys, all this time, we are waiting. We are patiently waiting. No rush, no panicking. You see now, this is now the hardest time. One of those hardest moments in trading, because after you have seen that, you'd have this urge to enter a trade. You see the trade is leaving you. Yes, you want to sell, but you see the trade is selling without you. You're looking for entry points, you're not seeing them. So now you start panicking. You start asking yourself, what is happening? Where am I entering from? How comes I'm not getting an entry? Maybe other people have entered. Oh, like everything becomes a panic. So you start panicking. Before you know it, you have entered where you are not supposed to enter from, because simply you are panicking. So what happens is, you don't have to panic. Wait and wait and wait. If you wait and the trade goes passes by you and you don't get an entry, it is still okay. The market is always going to provide many more opportunities. So this is not the end that, oh, now that I've missed this, I'm not going to get an entry. No, this is not the end. So it is okay. Let the trade go. Let the trade go and just keep waiting. So now it dropped here. After dropping, it gave us another entry here. Drop, base, drop with this huge heavy candle. Now, we came and marked this area, and this is the trade I entered, guys. So we came and marked this area. After marking that area, price dropped, gave us another drop, base, drop with this huge candles. So this was like the inducement. So if you entered from here, probably you're going to be stopped out. Why? Because this area here was just to induce you enter early, such that for it can use the upper zone, the extreme demand. So now you entered from there like that, and then you put your stop losses. And guys, this is a trade that I entered. Put your stop loss slightly above. I put around 35 pips above this area, this zone here. Yes, it's just in case price decides to come and sweep liquidity down here, which I was not expecting. And then what do you have, guys? What do you have? You have, what is it? It has disappeared. Okay, let me just enlarge it like this. Okay, guys, now it is visible. So you have all this long to run price action up to the next demand zone, this one. However, me, I had targeted down here. I was thinking that price is going to come down here, but it has stopped on this demand zone, which is okay, with 1,000 pips, and now it is looking like it is going up. So how are we going to utilize this? We are going to come to the 15 minutes time frame. Since we are in the demand zone, let me do like this. Guys, subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm giving you premium free content, so subscribe to the channel. So we are going to come to the 15 minutes time frame. Let's move. You would have wrote, this is a 1 is to 29, guys. A 1 is to 29. Never seen that madness. Of course, with demand and supply, it is very, very possible. So we shall come to our, this is a daily demand zone, so price is rejecting there. So we shall come to 15 minutes, and then we look for entries to buy. Where are we buying up to? We shall buy up to, let me go to the daily and see the target first. If we are buying up to this area here. So you come to the 15 minutes and look for buy entries. It is already buying. This is like a double bottom, and it is looking up. However, we are not going to buy. What we are going to do, we are going to put there a trend line, and then tell ourselves if this trend line is broken and price goes, let me use this one. This one is too steep. I told you a trend line has, give room to your trend line, don't make them so steep. Good. So I'm going to put it there, and then I tell myself if price wants to go up, let's first cross this trend line and break this structure up. Then the demand zone around here that will be responsible for crossing and breaking this structure here is the one that we shall use to ride price to the upside. Hope we are together, guys. The demand zone that will be responsible for breaking this structure and the trend line is what we shall use to ride price to the upside. Okay, guys, that is all for today. I wanted to give you a review about USOIL. The trade went very well. People who caught it, it was a beautiful trade. Of course, the tensions going on in the Middle East and maybe they're affecting price, but I don't deal mostly with fundamentals. Mine is mainly on technicals, not fundamentals, guys. Okay, so that is all for today. Guys. Subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have liked the video, learned something out of it, kindly comment. Kindly like the video. If there is anything you want me to do a video about, kindly comment, put it down in the comment section. I'll gladly take it and do a video about it. That is all for today, guys, and have a blessed day. Bye.